Kansas. A Columbus man will spend nearly 3 decades in prison after being convicted of child sex crimes. Friday, a judge sentenced Brian Stewart, his 38-year-old chomo, to 26 years in prison. So back in January, it took a jury nearly 6.5 hours of deliberation to convict Stewart of 1 count of rape and 5 counts of aggravated liberties with a child. Those charges stem from incidents between March and August back in 2016. This goes to show you, no matter how long ago it happened, we're going to find you, we're going to get you, put you on the sex offender hit list. See ya, chomo. Marion police officers arrested one man in an attempted child molestation case Thursday. According to a press release from the Marion Police Department, on March 7th, Grant Central Dispatch sent Marion police officers Max Fisher and Max DeFontos to the Hampton Inn at 1502 North Baldwin Avenue in Marion, where a private group who identified themselves as predator poachers requested assistance in an attempted child molestation case. Good old Alex and the gang. Officers arrived and were sent to room 307. Officers were notified that predator poachers had been in contact with an individual from Ohio on a social media site. They agreed to meet at the Hampton Inn, where the suspect had rented a room to allegedly have sex with a 9-year-old girl. According to the release, the suspect then contacted who he believes was the child's father and invited them to come to the hotel as a family to perform the acts, where predator poachers met with the suspect at the Hampton Inn and confronted him before calling the police to the scene. Sergeant Michael Ross arrived at the scene and applied for a search warrant of the hotel room and the vehicle that the suspect had driven to Marion. Officers found child sexual abuse material on the suspect's phone during the execution of the search warrant. The suspect, Eric Groh, a 52-year-old of Hartville, Ohio, was arrested and charged with attempted child molestation, a level 4 felony, as well as possession of child sexual abuse material, a level 5 felony. Groh is in the Grant County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Thanks, predator poachers, and see ya, chomo. Down in Fort Worth, Texas, a Northwest Intermediate School District teacher is bonded out of jail after he was arrested for child sex assault. The school district says David Goggins is a teacher at Pike Middle School in Fort Worth. He was arrested by the Tarrant County Sheriff's Department. The district says the actions allegedly happened before he was hired by the district, but of course, you know they're going to say that. Goggins has been suspended, and the district says police don't believe there's any additional victims, but you never know. I'll be sure to keep you updated as more is known about this chomo right here on the Sex Offender Hit List. A Cumberland County man was arraigned in criminal court today, charged with numerous child sex crimes. The indictments against 31-year-old chomo Douglas Shane Ford of Crossville state he faces 16 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. Court records indicate Ford was allegedly in possession between November 15th of 2023 and January 22nd of 2024 of several indicative materials of minors engaged in sexual activity. In court yesterday, March 8th, the judge set the next court date for Ford on June 21st of this year. Let's head over to Idaho. A Jerome man is facing multiple child sexual abuse charges after police say he was allegedly preying on teenage girls. What a chomo. This is 19-year-old Damian Phelps. He was a community volunteer with the esports program at Canyon Ridge High School for roughly 4 months, according to the Twin Falls School District spokeswoman, Eva Craner. According to court records, that's how he allegedly met one of his victims. The underage victim told police they had sexual encounters in the parking lot of Canyon Ridge, and their alleged relationship lasted between November and December of 2023. In the affidavit filed Thursday, Twin Falls Police Detective Tracy Thompson indicated that the department was also investigating an alleged sexual encounter between this chomo and a 13-year-old girl. In his first case, he's being charged with rape and 2 counts of child exploitive materials. For the second case, he's facing rape, lewd conduct with a child under 16, and child sexually exploitative material. His combined bond total is $600,000, and he's due back at the Twin Falls County Courthouse for a preliminary hearing on the 22nd of March this month. See you in a little bit, chomo. California. A Fresno businessman, Todd Mumma, has been convicted by a federal jury for secretly recording a minor and receiving child sexual abuse materials. Mumma owns the business technology company Select Business Systems. Court documents reveal that Mumma used hidden recording devices in a residence to film a minor. Mumma edited the recordings on a computer and then transferred the most sexually explicit images onto a cell phone, where they were stored in a password-protected application and viewed numerous times. The Central Valley Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, including Homeland Security investigations, and the Fresno County Sheriff's Office investigated this case. He faces 15 to 30 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000, as well as possible forfeiture of property in his business and mandatory restitution to the victim. Let's hope he loses it all. A McSherrystown man is accused of raping a child. 11 felony counts were filed Thursday against James Kopp, a 53-year-old. He was confined Friday morning in the Adams County Prison, unable to post a $500,000 bond. The charges include 1 felony count each of rape of a child, statutory sexual assault of a child, unlawful contact with a minor, sexual assault, corruption of a minor, indecent assault on a person less than 13, criminal use of a communications facility, causing or permitting a child sex act to be depicted on a computer, and producing child sexual abuse materials. A person called the police and said Kopp had sex with a preteen girl at his apartment, which prompted the investigation. In addition to the sexual contact, Kopp requested and received nude images from the girl via social media. He also made reference to past sexual contact in a cell phone conversation with the girl on March 4th as police and a family member listened in. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for March 20th. See ya, chomo. Catoosa County Sheriff's deputies arrested a 51-year-old Ringgold man. This is James A. Myers. They arrested him on February 19th for arranging to meet a juvenile female for sex. The arrest stemmed from a sting operation conducted by none other than Alex and the Predator Poachers, who pose as juveniles to ensnare sexual offenders and bring awareness to online crimes against children. One of the group's members explained that he possessed Facebook messages between Myers and an 11-year-old juvenile that included Myers explicitly discussing having sex with and impregnating her. After Myers invited the juvenile to his home, the group notified authorities and met them at his doorstep. With Myers standing close by, the caller told deputies that the suspect had admitted to trading child and infant pornography on an application called Telegram. Myers also admitted to watching and being a member of multiple dark web child pornography groups on his cell phone and his laptop. Well, deputies handcuffed and transported Myers to the Catoosa County Jail, where he faces a charge of enticing a child for indecent purposes. This case is pending in court. See ya, chomo. A Rochester man was arrested for molesting a child back in 2020. Stephen Scott Benke, 44-year-old, 403 J Street, Rochester, is charged with child molesting, a level 4 felony. On November 16th of 21, a Rochester police officer received a report about a child molestation via telephone. A woman residing in Nebraska with her child said she was making that report because Benke inappropriately touched the child. The woman noticed the child watching a sexual show on Netflix and talked with him about that. And during this conversation, the child said Benke had inappropriately touched them. She also said she confronted Benke during a video chat and that he denied the allegations. The child was interviewed, and during that interview, the child said Benke told him not to tell anybody about what happened or he was going to hurt him bad. The woman also said she had a short period of time alone with a relative of Benke's who alleged that Benke had inappropriately touched another child. During a forensic interview in Nebraska, the child said Benke had made them inappropriately touch him. And in a conversation with law enforcement, Benke denied inappropriately touching that child. But we don't care. We booked him anyways. He's now in the Fulton County Jail as of March 6th of this year. Hope he stays there for a while and then goes to prison for life or something like that. That would be awesome. See ya, Chomo. A judge this week sentenced a 43-year-old Chomo from San Luis Obispo County to 645 years. That's right, 645 years in prison for sexually abusing 4 children over several decades. During the sentencing hearing, the 4 survivors recounted how Edgar Norvaldo Guerva's years of sexual abuse impacted their lives. Guerva then erupted, screaming profanities at everyone in the courtroom, including the judge. Superior Court Judge Catherine Swison had Guerva removed from the courtroom. Guerva abused 4 victims under the age of 14 between 2004 and 2022, according to prosecutors. A jury convicted Guerva of 11 counts of child molestation and 8 counts of forced sex acts. 645 years. See ya, Chomo.
Bryden, you're right. It's a step in the right direction.